Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're not just looking at a list of animals eating each other, we're actually tracing the hidden architecture of a giant biological power grid. We're going to look at exactly how energy flows, how it dictates structure, and how it literally powers the entire natural world. Let's dive right in. Instead of thinking of it as a simple sequence of who eats whom, it helps to think of a food chain like a relay race, a continuous one-way transfer of power. This relentless movement of energy dictates the complexity and really the resilience of literally every ecosystem on the planet. Section 1. The spark of life. So, producers are the vital foundation of this whole energy grid. They're the only living things capable of catching raw solar energy from the sun and turning it into usable biological currency. Without this very first step, photosynthesis, the entire grid just doesn't power up. It's that simple.
Section 2. Consumers and energy transfer.
Enter the primary consumers, or herbivores. These guys act as the crucial first bridge in our system. By eating the producers, they take all that basic plant matter and convert it into energy-dense proteins and fats. They're basically packaging up that solar currency for the rest of the web to use. Now, as we move up a level to the secondary consumers, the carnivores, the dynamic totally changes. We shift from just sort of passively munching on leaves to active energy extraction. Predators actually have to burn a significant amount of energy hunting just to get to the densely packed fuel stored inside those herbivores.
And at the very top, sitting on the throne, we have the tertiary consumers. Here's a wild fact about how this works. Because usable energy is constantly lost as heat at every single step of the chain, you need a massive foundation of plants and plant eaters to support just one of these apex predators. That huge energy cost is exactly why top predators are actually pretty rare in number.
Let's track a specific journey in action. A single unit of solar energy is caught by the grass, then it gets concentrated into a grasshopper, then a frog eats that grasshopper, a snake eats the frog, and finally it powers the flight of an eagle. It's a rapid, unbroken chain of biological conversion, passing from one living thing to the next.
Section 3. The vital role of decomposers.
While energy flows in a one-way street and is eventually lost as heat, the actual nutrients have to be relentlessly recycled, or the grid fails. This is where decomposers step in. Bacteria and fungi close the loop, breaking down organic matter and sending essential chemical building blocks right back into the soil for the producers. To put it bluntly, and frankly kind of grossly, without this microscopic workforce constantly running in the background, dead plants and animals would literally just pile up everywhere. Ecosystems would choke, and the entire biological cycle would rapidly grind to a halt. Section 4. From chains to webs. When you look closely at these systems, the threat of a cascading failure becomes glaringly obvious. If that foundational bottom tier is compromised, like if the plants disappear, the herbivores have no food, and if the herbivores starve, the carnivores struggle to survive too. It guarantees a rapid vertical collapse of the whole structure. Thankfully, nature is incredibly smart and relies heavily on backups. By weaving individual pathways together into a tangled food web, ecosystems create multiple overlapping energy routes. Because most animals eat more than one thing, this builds a robust, fault-tolerant network instead of a fragile single-point-of-failure chain. Section 5. Protecting our ecosystems. So protecting wildlife and restoring habitats, whether that's planting trees, cutting back on pollution, or just generally taking care of the environment, isn't just about preserving a pretty landscape. It's fundamentally about maintaining systemic biodiversity and keeping those critical energy pathways alive. The health of our planet isn't just about saving one individual species. It is entirely dependent on preserving the structural integrity of these invisible biological networks. You simply cannot have a healthy ecosystem without healthy, functioning food chains. You are an active participant in this grand system. So knowing how easily a cascade can disrupt our world, what steps will you take to protect the intricate webs that keep our ecosystems breathing? Keep observing, keep questioning the world around you, and thanks for joining me for This Explainer.